idea of this is to make you start right. As an editor, I used to get a lot of requests from different faculties, can we get the paper? They share the paper with us. I'm surprised that, they are sending a message to me. I have a internship report of a student, of a bachelor student or MBA student. We can do some editing and we can publish it. Scopus and ABDC don't go by like that. They see the novelty. What you are doing is you are just, comparing the two banks or two brands or, shampoo positioning into your market. That's not a paper which you can publish into Scopus or ABDC journal. You have to work on the quality. Let me just brief you about with the journey, and then you will have, a fair idea what you have to keep in mind by publishing your papers in the journal. And this is my all experience as a guest editor. I'm a corporate leader, but academics somewhere, I keep on engage myself into different academics. I'm not bound to publish papers into any of the journal, but still what I do is I try to collaborate with the people with my knowledge, give them the idea how you can publish it. So this is how I do the collaborations. So just see, and then you will be able to understand what exactly I'm talking. Is the screen is on? You can see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Very first thing, and being, I was an HR of one of the biggest industry over here into oil and gas. We had an 800 employees, and I used to work with 56 countries, and almost a team of 18 HR was working under me. And actually, I have realized this, and this is actually, I have realized that when the problem comes to any industry, they go back to academics. They try to find out the solution from the academics. Maybe it is any of the, see, HR is not my field. Somehow, my field has divided. I'm PhD in applied economics, but I was a part of Amity Business School as a professor, and in economics department, somehow we have to teach marketing research. So automatically I have learned SPSS since 2004. And then from SPSS, eViews and the journey and the journey of kept on going on. Once I came to UAE, I started my journey as a professor, but then I shifted myself to the corporate. I got a break in one of the top HR team. By chance, the manager was into one of my training program. So he said, can you handle the HR? I said, I don't have any experience, but he said, but you have a link with the people. I said, yes, that I can do. So somehow, and the rules of UAE are totally different from India. So it was a new learning experience for me. I have not stopped myself. I kept on learning. That is the only key. So first, once you are making any research, you have to see what we normally do is we put a lot of, pressure, a lot of on our research. It's not about how much work you do. It's more about if your research is relevant or not. Some researches, you should find out what is the need of the hour. What are the current researches are going on. So based on that, obviously, you keep on preparing your researches. So automatically, your research is somewhere cooked around the concept centric or the problem centric. Either you are talking of some particular concept or you are trying to find out the solution of some concept. So that's very important to understand what type of research you are doing. I have seen, personally, I have seen that, we feel, okay, this journal has a very good impact factor. So all the papers listed here will be very good. No, it's not. Sometime it's not there. Sometimes best papers are published in useless journals because people don't know how to get it published. They don't have any idea how to get our paper published. So very important is you should understand how to reach to the right audience, the target audience. So very importantly, you have to understand what is the scope of your research and what is the scope of different journals where you are going to publish your paper. Then you have to make it, what kind of the paper you have to make. It's a full length paper, review or research output. There are so many ways you can do it. So you have to, keep in mind what kind of the things you are going to publish. every concept, every journal aim and scope is given on the elsewhere. Now, why I'm talking to this, no journal can publish your paper if it is not coming under the aim and scope of the journal. They will not publish it. Imagine I am a guest editor of a management based journal. I got a paper. Yesterday only I received a paper which is chemistry based. I can't do anything. I have to reject it. And the person might have spent, once they publish, once they submit the paper, it takes almost 10 days to reach to us. So automatically he has lost the 10 days. And obviously once I will reply back, it will take another few days to reach to him. So first you have to identify what is the scope of the journal. Only then you should publish the paper. These are some most important management journals which you can see, and these have a very good high ranking in our academia. Try to read these papers from these journals. That's very, very important to read the journals from these, because they publish the latest trend. I'm not saying in the first your attempt you would be able to publish over there. Still I'm trying, but I have not reached up to this level because obviously my time has a limitation. So I work basically on the basis of, how much time I do have. So I'm doing now more of the editorial work and publication slightly on other hand. Now, one most important, whenever you are going to publish your paper, try to understand what is the process, how the process goes on, why your manuscript are rejected. And I'm telling you as per my whole experience as a guest editor. Now, as a guest editor, I don't have much time to see all the papers. Now, how it works? See, most of the, once it will reach to review, to the review process, we normally reject 80% of the manuscripts. Even you will be, imagine that I comes to the second level. My level is second level, and up to the second level, I'm not receiving, 100% papers. Automatically 50% paper only is to me. How it happens? First is review by the junior editor. For example, you have created your account into InterScience. Once you created your account into your InterScience, you will submit your paper. Very important, when you are submitting your paper, please see the samples of the paper of the journal, number one. Second, there is a full template is given for every journal, what they want, how should be the tables, how should be the figures, referencing style, everything they have to you, follow it. Because if you submit your paper and you are not, it's not up to the mark, it will be rejected. Now this is the review by the junior editor. What the junior editor does, it comes, before the chief editor. So it's two processes before the chief editor. So what he does, he see first of all, if the paper is under the scope of the journal. Second, it is lined with the journal's mission and the assessment criteria. Do it conforms to the set standard of language and format style of a journal? Because every journal, I said, is a format style. You have to follow it. Language, you have to follow it. There is a template, then it will check your plagiarism. Say your Turnitin, which you follow in your academic, that's not the same Turnitin the journal follows. If in your Turnitin, your plag is coming 21 or 22%, so be sure your plag in the journals will be almost 40%. That Turnitin will not work, but yes, you can have a fair idea. Grammatical mistakes are very, very important. I have seen many people, there are a lot of grammatical mistakes, commas, where the post office should come. A lot of things are there. See, as an editor, I just have 5 minutes. Special issue or in any other issue, there is only a scope of 7 and 8 papers. That is across world papers are coming. If I am a guest editor of a good journal, I am not targeting only Indian market. With me, the guest editor is from Spain, one is from South Korea. So we are targeting, now I'm collaborating with Curtin University directors. So we are tapping the market, different markets. And I just need 8 papers to complete my issue. I will not look your paper if it is not following any of these things. For me, it's very simple to reject because I have a lot of papers across world. So please remember that minimum you have to follow to at least make your paper to the second level. Follow the template of the journal. So follow the language, format, style. Keep these things in the mind. Revision will come later on. Okay, fine, we can work. But first thing, we should have what is given to us. We should try to make our paper accordingly. Second stage, then the reviewer by the sub-editor, and this is all back-end work. Still, it is not coming to me. This is the back-end work. What they do is they see the topic relevance and the contribution. Now, topic relevance, for example, you are saying a comparison of the, state bank versus private sector versus public sector bank in Indian economy. These are the gone days because these topics are not relevant now. You have to give a proper topic. You have to identify a proper issue in your paper with in-depth knowledge. So where you are going to publish, you have to read the papers of that journal, what type of work they are publishing. So very important, as per the impact of journal, expectation of the reader will be high. Imagine you are studying a Q1 paper and they have just done a factor analysis and will give you a 2-bank analysis. You will say, oh, this is a paper for Q1. No. So the journal quality, it's has a huge impact on the acceptance of the paper. Thus, it has a necessary details for the readers to fully understand and repeat your analysis and experiment. Now, I will tell you here one of the real example. Just 3 days before, I got a paper from one of my, the old friend. She just sent me a paper, and obviously, as I opened the paper, I could easily find out it's a master thesis or maybe some thesis of a student which has been converted into paper. Can you imagine 24? There were the 24 hypotheses and 24 tables, and with every table, okay, this analysis of this, they have done factor analysis also, cluster analysis also, or okay, Cronbach and Phi and all these things are there. Then obviously the demographic, everything they have, chi-square, t-test, f-test, z-test. Sorry, this is a paper. You are not showing how much statistics you know. Focus on the most important thing. What exactly you want. So accordingly, fix it. Don't put a lot of tables. Just focus on your important things. I have prepared few things so you can keep in mind in the later stage. And then large number of self citations. This is very, very important when a paper, journal is going to check the paper. Now, what do you mean by citation? You have, you are citing your own papers a lot. So paper also, this is, not something which normally they don't like. Does it has any irrelevant element or something which is not as per the research is going well? So they have to identify. Here my role comes. After the second stage, paper will come. So can you imagine 50%, 60% paper will be rejected at this stage. So only 40% will come to me. And out of 40 also, I may reject 10 or 15%. So obviously, I have to see maybe the sample size is too small or, lack of statistical text or inappropriate statistical text which they have used. So I'm more on the content of the paper. My focus is more on the content of the paper because grammatical check, these all has been done before me. So now I have to focus on content. So if it is not, I will not accept it. I will tell you also the reason why I will not accept it. I am a guest editor of ABDC journal, which is listed in Scopus. So journal has a high value. And we have a scope of only 6 to 7 papers. That's it. If paper is not good enough, obviously editor will not give me the special issue next time, or InterScience or elsewhere or any other, journal will not consider me to be a chief editor of Scopus or ABDC or SCI journal. If I will close few journals, which is, 100% with the quality things, automatically I will not come into a question mark. Otherwise, they can ask the questions and they can stop the Scopus indexing of the journal, which has happened to many journals last year. We have a full data. People, I used to get so many calls, messages, we spend money over here and paper is now, journal is not listed in Scopus. What should we do? These questions should be asked before. After this all screening, then we come to the final revision, that is to our reviewers. That means, can you imagine after the third stage, your paper goes to reviewer. If you have reached up to this level, even if you are not, your reviewer has rejected your paper, but still that means you can change, you can, revise paper as per reviewer, and you can submit it to some other journal with no time, because everything has been done. Language has been checked, template has been done. So it's only a matter of some important things which you need to change. But problem comes especially here when the reviewers ask some revisions, especially the major revisions, and the writer or the author is not able to send it back. I have seen in my journal list the papers who are accepted 2010, 8, 9, still authors have not sent those papers after the revision. So that's, and obviously 2011 to 20 data will be obsolete now. So you have to change the paper thoroughly. So reviewer, he will either accept major revision, minor, or reject it. Now, there are different type of peer review process. Every journal has its own peer review process. Single blind, where reviewer identity is hidden from authors, but reviewer knows the identity of authors. Blind, double blind, which is normally, we follow it. Both reviewers and author remains anonymous to each other. Open reviewer, where authors and reviewers are known to each other. Most of the SCI Scopus, they follow the blind review process. So once you're preparing a paper, they do normally ask to give the name of the 3 reviewers, but from your subject area. And please do remember, 1 should be from your country and 2 should be from outside, not from your country. So automatically what happens, they are also creating a pool of their reviewer, number 1. So if any other papers will come later on, they can send them to those reviewers. 60% chance they will send to the same reviewer, but 40% chance they may send maybe 1 of your reviewer and 2 to other reviewers. So, but you have to give the 3 authors' name in most of the journals. One more thing I want to say here, never ever submit a paper on an email. Try to avoid those journals which follow the email concept. You don't know where the paper is going. Okay, I will explain you these things in detail. Now come here. This is something where, we have to, as academicians, we are guiding our PhD scholars, we have to keep in mind whenever we are selecting a journal, we have to see first if journal is following some basic publishing standards. What is its editorial content? Because sometimes, you will find the language is missing. Some languages, some spelling mistakes are there. Normally in a good journal, you will not follow that. If it is open access, normally people say open access journals, we should not do it. No, there is nothing as an open access and closed access. Open access, there are some bodies, which are like EIA. So this is European Union body, which publish the paper open access, and most of the journals are Q3 and Q4 level. Reason is they are working on a charitable purpose. They don't ask any money from the author. But if someone wants to give charity, it's perfectly fine. Then most of the journals, most of the countries, like for example, if you take example of the Poland, US, UK, they give a lot of schemes to their teachers, lot of funds to have a publication. They do a funding project for the university. So university give them a permission, okay, you can pay this much amount of money to an open access journal, which is maybe of Q1 or Q2 level. They are okay with it. Because no, Q1, Q2 level, even if they are charging money, they are following the full process. They will not publish your paper without following the process. Problem comes when a journal charges and asking you an email and says, we will publish your paper, pay $300, and within 10 days, we will publish your paper. This no journal can do. Any open access journal, it has to be written on the website, what are the charges on the open access. Because why open access is required, it increases your citation because anyone can see it. So most of the European nationalities, they like open access, and that's why their citations are so high also. Because in closed access, no doubt, people has to buy the journal to read it. So don't think that quality of the open access journal is always bad. No, it's not like that. We have to see what kind of the, if it is listed into open access directory or not. If it is not in the list of pediatric journals, we have to see before give our paper to open access, right? So not all open access journals are paid journals. Now this is something very important, which I want that you should see it. And this is how, a journal, these are the metrics and the benchmark of any journal. See, Scopus has to analyze the performance of the journals on its database. So it has made 6 benchmarks: self-citation rate, total citation rate, site score, number of articles, number of the full text clicks on the scopus.com, abstract usage on scopus.com. Now, self-citation rate. If self-citation rate is double than to the normal journals in your subject matter, so that means that journal is doing something wrong. So Scopus will keep an eye on it. So that's why, as Dr. Indrapal said, that after some time, 3 or 4 years down the line, we will find journal is not in the list. And your paper, those who are indexed, will also not, remove from the indexing, because they will see the quality then. First, they will remove the journal, then they will see the quality of the papers. Total citation rate. If your journal total citation is half of your subject matter, again, this is a problem. So they will again issue that, a warning to the journals that your citation is going down. So try to increase it. Then 50% site score. If your site score is less than 50% compared to the other, so again, that's a issue. So you have to, it's again the editor role and responsibility to keep the site score. That's why they, do the open access, they do the special issue journals. Because in special issue, what they do is the authors who have already published, they send them the invite. So automatically, if I am an author of one journal, one in particular journal, I will try to write my paper on the same area. And obviously I will cite, or I will cite the other papers or written in the same paper. Number of the full text click. Now, whenever you go and submit a paper, you will see there is a sample journal or sample article. So they can find out if how many persons has clicked it, or they are just, you have 100 papers published, but clicking is nothing. So again, that means there is some problem. So they find out these issues. Abstract usage. How many people have used the abstract? And then, there are many facilities by Springer and all, where you can put your abstract, they can suggest you which journal you want, you can publish your paper. So that's something which you can do very easily. So this is another. Now I'm coming to, before that, let me clear you this radar. Now, most of you must not be knowing about the radar. In 2018, radar tool was launched. And it was launched by the Elsevier to find the algorithm for the data analysis. And it was trying to identify the scope of the behavior. And it was trying to find if there is some unexplained changes, rapid or unexplained changes in the journal behavior. Maybe suddenly issues, it is taking out a lot of issues. See, every journal maximum to maximum can have 12 regular issues. That is if you are a very good journal. But most of the journals, they have 4 to 6 issues in a year. Or they can give one special issue. So 3 or 4 special issues. So how many total? Maybe 10 issues in a year, 10 to 12. Per issues, 8 papers. So very hardly that, and that is, I'm talking of those who are issuing at a regular basis. 10 to 18, maybe 100 papers only in one journal, per journal. But can you imagine a journal is publishing in a year 400 papers, and it's a new journal? And out of 400, if you will check your Scopus ID, as an author, you are not credited. That paper is not indexed in Scopus. Your paper is in Scopus Index Journal, but it is not indexed in Scopus. As I'm working very closely with Scopus, Spinger, and Elsevier, and also the InterScience a lot, what they have told when we used to have a discussion now, what is a new crime in the publishing is the people are doing, or the companies are doing, they are creating the fake side of the original journal, which even for us or anyone, it's very difficult to know. They are hacking the original site and they are creating a new site. So what happens? They are saying, okay, give this amount of money, we will publish your paper, $400, $500, we will publish your paper within 40 days, 30 days. No journal can complete the process in 30, 40 days. If you follow a proper submission steps, it takes time. Yes, some open access journal where they have work on the charity basis or some funding projects, yes, they can do. But others, they cannot do. So can you imagine in 2018, these are the journal, this is a current list of the journals which has been discontinued from Scopus in 2020. And most of the journals, like a lot of friends has published papers in one of the Indian journal that called Blue Eye publication. And all the journals of that publication has been removed from here. It's not that, see, you can see Elsevier. Even the Elsevier journal has been, removed from here. They just, if Taylor and Francis also is there. So if you're, why I'm telling you these things, because even as a author, as a guest editor, Spinger is also there. I used to get a lot of mails every day, every second day I used to get a mail. Publish with this, these are the journals with us, publish in 10 days, 15 days. Please don't fall in the trap of such things. Please don't fall. Even before, I used to help the authors before when I was in academics for their analysis, preparing of the research design, everything. But beyond a particular quality, no one can help you out. You have to study, you have to work hard to prepare a paper. One paper or 2 paper in SCI with the 3 or 4 authors, maximum you can have 5 authors or 3 or 4 authors is a good output. 1 or 2 conferences, which you can, high index conferences, that's a good outcome in total. Because all of us cannot do the same job. Someone is very good, because even the preparation of a paper as per the journal requirement takes time. You just cannot publish in the simple word format. Someone wants in latex, so you have to convert your paper. Someone wants to say something?
Yeah, ma'am, you continue, please. Yeah.
Okay. So I hope the radar is clear to you guys, because this is something new, and you know, after 2017 launching, they are now using it. And that's why most of the journal in 2019 and 20 has been delisted from the Scopus, because they come under the radar. Now, second important thing is, how many of you heard about the Bailey's list of predatory journals? I think you must be listening this word predatory journals, predatory journals. So this is a list of journal which is done by Bailey's, where you can find out all such type of journals which are coming into question mark due to some or the other reasons. I'm not saying they are bad, maybe some of them are good, but that's a guideline, frame guideline. We should try not to publish in such journals. And as I have written, they are kind of cyber criminal, make money by stealing the identities of legitimate journals and collecting articles, processing charge on the journal they submit. If a journal says I'm charging $450 as a processing charge, it's written there, I understand. That's a policy for everyone. Then I have to check if the journal is worth or $450 of mine. Or better, I work little hard and then send my paper, which is not charging anything. But if a journal says pay us, which is not written anything there, if it's not written, there is no processing charge, because most of the journal works in the policy of download. If you need to download, you have to pay dollars, $30, $50. So they work on the subscription method. They don't work on any article processing fees, normal article. If you want to publish like InterScience, every journal of InterScience, you can publish your paper in open access. Every journal, they have an open access policy, every journal of InterScience. Now, what is the meaning between open access policy and normal? Once I'm submitting a paper, it has been accepted. I can say I want to publish in open access. I have to pay a charge. There is a fixed charge, almost $2,000. It's almost $2,000. So my research work will be freely available to everyone. The copyright will be with the InterScience. That means no one will pay $50 for a download. That is the open access. It's not that they are publishing your paper because of low quality and that's why you are saying it open access. That is a myth. No, any good journal, they don't do like that. Open access is only to make your paper reachable to journal masses. So they are not supposed to pay because you have paid a fee of journal beforehand. So many funding projects which are converted into paper, the funding agency pay them. By chance in India, we don't have much of the funding process. So that's why, we don't follow it. But outside they have a lot of funding and they mention it, funding, write the funding agency name. So if obviously if university paper is coming, so university may be funding your project. When I was working in the first year, even for attending a conference, I used to get whatever amount of money I need. So that's perfectly fine. But in India, only a few journals, a few universities pay. So that's the main problem. Up to here, if someone wants to know something, so, we can have few questions. Dr. Indrapal?
Yeah, till now, anybody who wants any clarification or question, you can ask the expert speaker.
Hello, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, it's a wonderful session. I mean, it's a very eye-opening session for all of us. My question is like there is a journal indexing. So how to
Yeah.
judge the indexing? How to check the indexing of journals? Can you throw some light on it?
See, normally, every journal has its own impact factor, right? Now, for example, okay, I will take any journal name. You give me any journal name. You have any journal right now in your mind?
Yeah, like Journal of Public Affairs. I'm
Okay,
writing a paper for it. Yeah,
Journal of
it is
Public
an
Affairs.
ABDC B listed journal.
Okay. So if it is able listed B listed affairs, so I think there is no point, asking for it. Otherwise, if it will be in Scopus also, for example, because still some,
Yeah, it is.
it is in
Yeah.
Scopus also.
G.
SCI Magu. So it is one of the indicator. Okay, they do it's like they do a proper indexing. Okay, so for example, if we go it's a Q2 journal, and this has been
Okay.
so it's a Q2 journal. So they do a continuous indexing of the journal, and they everyone follow a particular formula. For example, for this journal, for SGR, we call it SGR. SGR say weighted number of average number of weighted citation received a year divided by number of documentation published in the previous year. Now, for example, I want to know the current SGR. So I need to see how much weighted citation I have received this year, in 2020. They do it after 2020 for 2020. Once the 2020 will be completed. And then they will divide it how much citation, like if 200 citations are there, say in this current year, 2020. But paper publication, they will see 17, 18 and 19. Last 3 years, 17, 18 and 19. And if total papers has been published 1000, so SGR will be 200 divided by 1000.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
And they normally I would say it's not exactly, because they follow some weighted average, like they give the weights also here in SGR. In site score, they normally just percentage formula. In SGR, they give the weights to the journals, to the paper also, individual. So it's more complicated rather, but a brief idea is citation versus publication in the last years. So
Okay.
why they do it? The very simple reason is this year you have published a lot of papers, like a new journal comes suddenly and publish 100 or 200 papers, but no citation. So what's the use of that journal? Number one. Second thing, if you're publishing a lot of, like, you have published 300 papers and only 1 or 2 has been cited, that's finished. So you are not, it's of no use.
Right. You're right, ma'am. Thank you so much for this lucid information.
Thank you. Any other, please?
Haji, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
My query is actually there is need of references and bibliography at the end of every paper we write. Like
Right.
somebody told me that it should be as old as you can, like 40s, 50s, 60s. We should be as I'm a teacher of literature. So definitely how many references I have to give at the end? Like should I search online or should I go for the books only? Like
No,
what
no,
should
no.
be the case?
Okay, dear. That's, you have asked me this question. Let me take you to my slide, okay?
Yeah.
So I think it would be better, See, first thing, referencing is the most frustrating thing.
Yes, of course.
Number one. Number two, because every journal has its own referencing style,
Mhm.
right? So you have to see what kind of the referencing style. Third thing, you have to cite everything. Whatever you are citing, it must be listed, and whatever you are listed must be cited.
Yes.
Okay, so now this is the production house, which normally, what do, sometime we forget to cite a paper, but we have mentioned in the, everything is fine. They will cross check everything because they have the software, they will put the things and the things will come out.
Yes.
Now, as you are asking the number of citations, There is no
And
limit.
how old these should be, like from
How
which
old?
year?
See, if you are talking of something like a public administration, the other, you know, the public administration is very old concept, right?
Okay.
Now,
Yes.
for example, we want to see after COVID how the public administration will change
Yes.
the life of the people. So automatically we can see, say, we will talk about only of India. So we can refer the literature for the English time, then independence, then obviously whenever the new things came in the economy, or, you know, some structural changes came,
Yes.
there was a emergency periods also, right? So we
Yes.
need to refer all these things, but old papers should not be that much. They should, because our theory is always built on the history.
Yes, of course.
So you can have a few papers, like if you have your, and second thing, which journal you are targeting, see some sample papers of the journal.
Okay.
How much referencing they are doing. There are some paper journals which are just, you know, 20, 25, it's okay.
Okay.
Somewhere you will see 60. You will open the paper and every paper has 60 reference, right?
Mhm.
You will submit with 12 reference, they will not accept you.
Yeah.
So
we
make a
just
bell
need to
curve.
see this kind.
Yes, you have to, and current studies should be more, no doubt. Current studies, if say, for example, we are in 20, like yesterday only I have done a literature review for one of the paper. 2016, after 2016, there was no literature. Okay, so that's also, you know, we cannot accept. There should be literature because the work has been done in last 4 years also,
Mhm.
right? So we should have at least 5-6 papers from the last 4 years.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, madam. Can I ask?
Yeah, Dr. Praveen. Yeah, please.
Yeah, this is Veer Gangwar. You said, you know, this Turnitin, if it has a pledge of say 10%, and in your rigorous procedure, it may turn out to be say 20% or
More
above
than
that.
20, rather 25, I would say.
Yeah. So as a researcher, as a paper writer, what is the mechanism available with us so that we can ensure that it should not on the limit?
Dr. Praveen, first thing, if you have written something by yourself,
Yeah, I'm Veer Gangwar. Yeah.
or Veer Gangwar, okay.
Yeah.
If you have written something by yourself, no need of plagiarism. Number one, right? You need to follow the Turnitin.
That is an ideal state, you see.
Yeah, that's the ideal state. Obviously,
Yeah.
always, you know, talk about the ideal state.
Yeah.
Second thing,
Yeah.
see, in the reference, the last bibliography which comes, you know, we normally don't count that. Number one. Number two, but yes, we do count it. It is following the same sequence of some journal. You know, for example, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, you are taken out from one particular paper.
Uh-huh.
Source one, say, source one, all 5 referencing. That's a wrong case.
Okay.
So you have just cut, copy, paste
Uh-huh.
the other journal,
Uh-huh.
literature review.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
most of the cases comes under the literature review.
Mm-hmm.
Clear?
So
Try to-
how to, no,
Yeah.
you see, like Turnitin like software, if it is giving a result of say below 10% or 8% or whatever, and at some other platform, which software should be used as a
See
researcher?
that these are, you know, these are the publishing softwares, right?
Uh-huh.
Publishing Turnitin softwares, which we normally, you know, even I don't know, because every publishing house like Springer, they have their own. InterScience, they have their own, right? They have in-house made.
See, though I am not such a great researcher, but still, you know, I am quite keen to know, so that you know this you should
See,
not pass through this
Simple
yeah.
strategy follow that in your Turnitin should be less than 10%.
So you are saying this even if it is less than 10%, that it may turn out to be 20%.
Because up to 25-30 they accept if there is a
Okay.
novelty in the paper. Number one. See,
Okay.
if your paper does not have any novelty, they don't go for, you know, how much plag you have done.
Okay.
15, 20, 20% they will accept. But if there is no novelty, like you have taken the data, for example, from someone, you have taken the reference as it is from someone,
Okay.
they will, like, you know, some normal language, or like, for example, here in my slide, American Psychology Association, if I will write, it will come as, you know,
Right,
I can't do anything.
right.
So they also, you know, see what type of the flag is there.
Okay,
It should not be a cluster of flags, you know,
okay, okay.
one source.
So what I can make out, it's if it is reference related, then it's not a big issue. If it is literature review related or some novel idea
No,
related,
see, reference related, if it is from one source, it's a big issue,
okay,
right?
okay.
Thank you, Dr. Gangwar. I
Yeah.
hope your query must have been addressed.
Yeah, it is to a great extent.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, good afternoon, doctor.
May I put a question?
Yeah, please.
Ma'am, you talked about novelty in the research. Like my field is literature. So whenever, you know, one of the problems that I face is whenever I pick up any topic to write paper on, I find that most of the people have already written on it. So how would I how would I ensure that there is a novelty in it? Like yeah, because during these days we were like at home working from home, and I got to get some time to, you know, pen down some paper on Kiran Desai. So
Okay.
one of the book that I came across is Inheritance of Laws that has even won the Booker Prize. So I started writing a paper, but I got to know that when I Googled it, you know, the idea that I had in my mind, I typed on the Google, I could find, you know, number of themes related to the same, and how would I ensure that there is a novelty in it? Otherwise, because if I start writing on the same issue, like she's talking about, you know, mother and daughter relationship sort of things, like if I pick up diaspora literature, so if I start talking about all those issues, there are number of chances that my paper would be dropped at, you know,
No, see, actually, you know, when
main issue that I'm
yeah,
facing.
linguistic, you know, when you talk about the linguistic researches, yes, these are, you know, little, what I would say is little difficult. But what we do is
Right.
normally in that case, for example, you are talking of a daughter and the wife relationship, or daughter of the mother relationship, or some
Yeah.
type of source. We keep on studying on the different societies, different cultures,
Right.
different time period, comparing from different time period. So automatically you will find, yes, there is a novelty.
Mhm.
Just one relation, okay, understood, but relation into different areas, time period, comparison. So automatically you will
Right.
find, yes, something has not been done into this area.
Right.
You have to
right.
identify the gap.
Okay, so it means we can widen up the horizon of the research.
Yes, yes.
That is the only solution for
Yes.
that, right?
See,
Okay,
widen the
okay.
horizon and then make it narrow to specific.
Too specific. Like if I'm talking about Kiran Desai's Inheritance of Laws, I could pick up certain more books that Kiran Desai has written, and
Yes.
we can place the same theme in the context of other books.
Further books, and obviously because these concepts has been written, so what you can do is you can compare. Or you can compare
Right,
into different countries, the model,
right.
or
Okay.
different societies, the model.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thanks a
Right,
lot
thank you.
for edifying my mind regarding the confusion
Thank
that I was
See, this
faced
is
with.
not my area, but yes,
Yeah.
because you know, this is one thing which we can do is the gap analysis.
No, ma'am, you really put forward very good earnest efforts in you know, clarifying the minds of
See,
many people. Would be,
I have just done what I have learned. See,
Thank you, ma'am.
so many things maybe I won't be able to answer which you put across.
No, this is being so humble of you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Ma'am, may I put one question, please?
Yeah, please.
Ma'am, you mentioned about reviewers and how we're supposed to select 3 reviewers. And then there's usually an option where you can skip and let the journal decide the reviewer for you. So which is a better one? Should we always pick those 3 ourselves? Like you said, 1 from home country and 2 from another country. Or
See,
should we,
yeah, normally, you know, it's 1 from home country and 2 from, you know, outside.
yes.
Right, number 1. Number 2, you should give reviewers.
Okay.
Try to set the reviewers who are into your network.
Okay.
Right. So what happens is there is a quite possibility, like I give you my example, like I'm editing, like I'm a guest editor, so paper normally comes. So I have to send to the reviewers. So first I no doubt choose the reviewers which are in the list of the journal, which are reviewing from a long time, you know.
Yeah.
So I will send them a request. Most of the, reviewers they decline sometime that we cannot do it. For example, a lot of US people and Chinese people nowadays, they are declining. Italian, French, they are declining the request of reviewing because, you know, there is a chaos in their country. So to save their families the first, though I am in connection with them on the mail or phone also, but they say, you know, we can't do anything. So what is the next option? I have to do a review. So I will send the review, at least 1 or 2 reviewers, which you have, you know, mentioned over there. So there is a chance already you have set them and you know, you can say, please, this is the thing. So you can already discuss with them. These are the things I have mentioned you are as a reviewer.
Okay.
So they might give a very, not rejection, maybe your paper is on the verge of rejection, but they may say major. So you have a chance to be in the fight.
Right.
Once 2 will reject, you are rejected. We can't do anything.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
See, we'll be taking the last few questions if any of the participant is having.
But I think, Dr. Praveen, we can ask because, you know, rest of the things are based on this, what they are asking.
Okay.
So, you know, we can have a better question answer sessions because things are in their mind. Is Dr. Indrapal, is that okay?
Yeah,
Fine,
ma'am.
It's
Fine,
okay.
ma'am.
Yeah, because, you know, they will
Because
be
we have
having,
to, yeah, because our main motive is to handle their queries.
yeah.
So they can become an effective researcher and can send their paper to these reputed journals and can get their published.
Yeah, because
So if you will handling their queries and their queries will be solved, then it will be very nice for them. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's the main thing. So we can have few, you
Yeah,
know,
ma'am. Yeah. Yeah.
a few questions. Yeah, please.
Excuse me, ma'am. I have one query.
Yeah,
Like
please.
we always have a doubt about IEEE conference. Suppose we are publishing our paper in IEEE conference, so it will come in IEEE library, and it would not. Sometimes it would not come into the Scopus list. So you know how? I mean, there is a confusion. We faculty members have a lot of confusion about it. So kindly throw some light
See,
on it.
normally what happens, see, because IEEE is not my accurate area, but let me, I tell you, because I worked with the scope, so I know what happens. Most of the conferences which they say IEEE listed, right? And
Right.
the Scopus also. But Scopus sometimes deny to list them because of the quality.
Actually.
Right? So automatically they deny it. And because most of these, you know, there is always a contract in these conferences that the paper should be of good quality. There is not hard and fast that they will publish each and every paper in the Scopus. Okay. Second thing, let me tell you, whenever you are submitting anything into conference, there is a payment of $300, $400, $200 when you are publishing into Scopus or something. You know, your paper is indexed in Scopus. Why there is a payment? Because the Scopus backhand, because if you will open the Spinger or elsewhere, they have a full editorial board with them who manage these editorial work, right? So for example, you have sent a paper which is not as per the guideline of the Scopus. So they do the editing work.
Right.
Work. If your paper is absolutely useless, they will say, sorry, reject. But if there is a chance 15-20%, they do all that task on your behalf.
Okay.
So he goes to these conference, you know, to these editorial committees of the Spinger and the Scopus and all these. So if organizer will not pay, they will decline to publish your paper. Backhand story, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
They will not tell you these things, but this is the fact of the, you know, the point.
Ma'am, one more point is coming in my mind.
Yeah,
like you were saying, a lot of cyber criminals are, you know, spreading their rumors, their news, and even we are receiving a lot of messages on the social media, like you pay this much of amount, we'll ensure you to publish your paper in Scopus or ESCI and some journals. So we know that, you know, they are false. They are giving the false impression. But you know, why the authorities are not taking some action on you know, such people?
See, authority is taking because see, that's number thing, that's a business model of there. Okay. Now, for example, when I put first time my message, you know, I'm a guest editor of a Scopus Index journal, suddenly I got a lot of messages. How much money, ma'am? How much money, ma'am? How much money? Right. It's a very simple, you know, thinking I'm again, you know, a kind of money taking person who will publish your paper. I simply said, if you think your paper is very good, please submit it online. Right? If it is not good, I can't do anything because no InderScience or anyone will charge any money. But yes, because now I'm working directly with the InderScience, so you know, editorial office knows me very well. So once any paper goes with my name, so the screening process becomes little easier because then she has given her name, so paper will be having some, you know, quality. Right? She will not give her name without quality. So the process become little easy. That's it. I can't do anything much. Then obviously I know the editorial board. Then what we can do is, because I'm into corporate, I have my separate set. So what I do is, yes, paper has been formatted, so you can take the editorial services of theirs to, you know, make your paper better, but they don't give openly, but only to few, you know, they give, because every editor, it has its own editorial services, but they don't tell openly.
Indeed.
Right. So this is what, you know, but that's very important to understand, that services can be given only if your paper, see, paper journal quality demands 100%. Okay. If you're preparing something 20%, if after money they are submitting the paper, for sure, after 1 year or 2 years, it will be out from Scopus.
Actually,
sure.
You're right.
Right. But if your paper is say 50%, 55%, then the editorial office, then some you work, some editorial office will work, and then they will make it to 70% or 80%. Then, okay, one paper out of 7 or 8, okay, we can accept, which is 80%. But I cannot accept all 8 papers like that, because I need that my citation score should be high.
Right.
So no editor will take that risk. That's why, you know, it's like a, for example, it's like a contract with the editor and the publisher. So they remove the editor very easily if they are not following it.
True.
Okay.
Gratitude.
So this is, I think idea is clear to you. See, this is
thankful.
All backhand stories. Right. Yeah. Even I can say, I'm a guest editor of 2 journals, pay me this much amount of money, I will publish your paper. But why I will say, because I know if your paper is good, you can get it published easily. And second thing, even if I will take the money, what will happen to the next year? By chance, the journal is out of the Scopus. So my name is also will be, you know, which I have earned. My name I have earned, like, you know, in last 20 years. I cannot make it a question mark.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being so humble, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ma'am, we have a couple of participants who have raised their hands. Can they go ahead with their questions?
Yeah, please.
So we have, first of all, Miss Sonia Sharma. Ma'am, please go ahead with your question. Miss Sonia Sharma, please. Okay, we have Mr. Sameer Mahajan also, who has raised his hand. Kindly go ahead with the question, sir. Okay, anyone else wants to ask any question? Please go ahead. Okay, Dr. Supriya Sanju wants to ask something to ma'am. Dr. Supriya, please ask the question to ma'am. Dr. Supriya, kindly unmute your audio. Okay, any other attendee wants to ask any question to ma'am, please go ahead, one by one.
Dr. Ma'am, I have one query.
Yeah, please.
Ma'am, there is one journal, Indian Journal of Marketing, and it is listed in ABDC category and Scopus Index. But now I have checked the list of UGC, it is no more in the Scopus Index journal. Why all this happened? This is ABDC category as C listed, and now it is not in the Scopus Index journal.
See, that's what I'm saying. Indian Journal of, this is a latest
Marketing, Indian Journal of Marketing.
So that's why, you know, that's why I talk about the radar. You know, they are keeping a track of all these stuffs. So automatically, once you are, see, it's not that they must be publishing a lot of papers. Sometimes if your journal is not able to increase the citation, that's also an important problem. For example, you have published 200 papers in a year and hardly 2 people have cited 200 papers, in total. So that means there is some problem in the journal or the writing. So editor has to market the journal also. Editor role is not only to collect the papers, he has to market the journal also. So if, for example, that's why now what we are doing is we are working on the multinationality concept. I have a very clear instructions from Scopus that your paper should not be like, if I am having 8 papers, only 1 paper I can have from India. No other paper I can have from India. That means the first author can be Indian. Rest of the papers, you can be 3rd, 4th, 5th authors. That's okay. But first author will be Indian, can be from only 1 from India, because only 10 to 20% can be from 1 nation out of 8 papers. That means I need papers from, say, 8 different nationalities. Right? So if a journal is having the papers only from 1 nationality, it's also a radar. Okay. So that's again, after some time it will be delisted, or its ranking will be from B to C, C to D, like that.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Can I ask questions, sir?
Yeah, please.
Yes, ma'am. I have a question related to previous query only. Like we have to give the name from the home country, reviewer's name from the home country. Is there any list available for the reviewers?
No.
Is there any experience or any criteria?
No, he can be a simple, working assistant professor. No, even doctorate is not required.
Okay.
Because, let me tell you why it is not required. See, we are more focusing on PhDs over here. But Western world, it's more of, work experience matters.
Okay.
So it's not that you supposed to be a doctor, only then you can be a professor.
Okay. But he must be having area specialization.
Area specialization, or even the corporate. Like I'm a guest editor, I'm a reviewer, and I'm from corporate. I don't have any university tag behind my name.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Right, ma'am.
And I'm a Scopus and InterScience, listed reviewer, listed editor.
Okay. That's good, ma'am. That's great.
So it's like, something, it's not required that you have to be a PhD or a professor into university, because USA and all, they work on project-based works. Like most of the professors, they work in 2-3 universities, not in 1 university, a part-time job. 40% are only working, as a full-time, 40-50%.
Yes, ma'am.
50% are part-time. And they all are professors.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, it was a very informative session. Thanks. I personally want to thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ma'am, Dr. Khan has a question. His audio is not working, so I'll ask the question on his behalf.
Yeah.
Is there any open source software or website for plagiarism check? How much is it secure, if any?
No. Please never put your paper into open source. Because once you put your paper in open source, it will captured by internet. And your original work will always be listed into internet. So never check any open source. Even, for example, on the Facebook communities, on LinkedIn and all, some people say, like PhD scholars, anyone has a Turnitin, I'm sending a paper. I clearly write a message, don't send your paper to anyone else if you don't know him. Absolutely. For example, even if you will say me, doctor, I have a Turnitin access of everything. You will say, doctor, I'm sending you my paper. I will not accept it unless I know you very well, or you should have a confidence on me. Because I can say, okay, next day I will send your paper to some other journal, simple. And you cannot claim it because you have not sent it for publication so far. And I will send it for publication before you. Right? Second thing, just for your information also, I have hardly participated in any conferences, like, because obviously, you know, conferences are important to upgrade your knowledge, first of all. Always participate in the conference which is listed or indexed. Don't participate in the conference which is like, you know, organized by some independent party. It should always be in collaboration with some renowned university or institute. Because in UAE, like every second day, there are so many academic conferences happens by second other body. Tomorrow also I can put a conference and all of you I can invite over there. But most of these conferences are a kind of fraud. They just collect your paper and will run away. So always start with indexed or with in association with some renowned college or university conferences, which are very easily available on any media, where they have some liability also. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Important. It's very important.
Okay, any other attendee wants to ask any other question to ma'am? Do we have any more questions, please?
I hope things are okay. Okay, just one thing which I want to say. Conclusion, right? Most of the paper which I review, I found that conclusion is like, you know, there you put a summary of every section. It's not a summary. Please remember it. It's not a summary. It's like a brief summarization of your finding and contribution of your paper. And you try to make some recommendations also in your paper. So most of the people, what they do is they put, you know, every conclusion and implications, try that, you know, it is giving some impact for the future studies or some contribution. Clearly it is showing into existing problem or some concept making or something, you are showing some of your contribution. If it is not like that, then the conclusion fails to attract the editor viewpoint and it will reject. I'm not bothered about how you have done, you know, if you, I will just open a paper, I will see your abstract, then I will see, obviously I will see your title, your keywords, abstract, the conclusion, and then I will see if you have put a lot of in the first phase, a lot of tables and all that stuff, I will reject your paper. Right? So try to make a summary. So this is something very important. And second limitation, which I found most of the Indian papers, if you see in the red part, they normally say sample size. When you talk about your limitation, you say sample size is too small. Please don't write such a limitations. This is not a limitation. Limitations should be something where you were not able to do due to some of the reasons or maybe some of the responses. So for example, which were beyond your control, not because you have not done it. There's a difference. You could do it, but you have not done it. That's not limitation. Limitation is which you are not able to do due to some reasons. I hope that's clear, because these are the parts, you know, which we normally avoid or we don't look into. We focus only on analysis and literature review. These parts we don't focus at all.
Yeah.
Any other question, please?
There is a question from Dr. Girish Taneja.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. How to find indexed conferences?
Find a?
How to find indexed conferences?
See, most of the index conferences, you know, for example, if you will say Scopus index conferences, you will get a list. And you can actually see in the Scopus, you know, it keep on organizing the conferences. So one of the ways, obviously, you can easily find what conferences Scopus is going to organize in future. First thing. Second thing, whenever you are getting a request, see Scopus index conference, when I'm saying, every Scopus index conference, it's not free, it will be paid, which is 100% Scopus index. Because for indexing, Scopus no doubt will charge the money, because what we do is we tie up with the Scopus and we try to get that all papers should be Scopus indexed. Right. So then Scopus, in the list of Scopus, you can see those journals, you can see those conferences. Second, what happens is, for example, I am planning a conference with Dr. We are trying to, tie with the Scopus and do a conference. So obviously what we are trying to do is that we are trying to create a book for the Scopus index. So all the papers which would be there in the conference will be indexed in Scopus. So we will get a special book edition for the conference only, where editing will be done by the Elsevier or Springer or some other. So they can easily check the paper. So automatically they will take those paper which will be indexed in Scopus. So you can easily, do such kind of stuff. You can easily find out. But yes, it requires a lot of work behind this to get it Scopus indexed. Second thing, most of the journal conference you will find, yes, we attach some, see, for example, I'm a guest editor of a journal. So I can attach my journal with the conference. But first thing, the paper should be with the scope of my journal, number one. Number two, it should be as per the quality of my journal. Journal will accept the paper only because of two reasons. And third, we can have a special issue just based on the conference. So what we can do is we can have the best 6 or 7 papers to be indexed in journal. And fourth option, we can have a special book series where all the papers will be indexed in Scopus, whatever will be accepted. And acceptance will be done only if paper will be of at least that much of quality to be indexed in Scopus. Like IEEE, we have just discussed. They mention, but they don't put in Scopus. Here we will take the pre-approval. Is that clear?
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Ma'am, Dr. Ritu Rana wants to ask a couple of questions to you.
Yeah, please.
Her first question is like, to check the plagiarism, do we have any software which we can buy as researchers?
No.
Because as such, we don't have. Okay.
No,
okay.
No, there is no, because it's a institutional first and they are very costly.
Right, ma'am.
So
and her second question. Yeah, thank you so much.
There is no point of buying, unless
Okay.
you are not into publishing or you are not a university, because they give the user right. Like Turnitin, they have a user account.
Ma'am, is there any alternative for that?
No. No alternative. Best is contact your institute, ask them to buy at least the Turnitin. Now, most of the modules, like for example, most of the universities, they have Turnitin now, inbuilt system with the module system where students even can submit their assignment into Turnitin, and teachers also can check their papers. So, it's auto-generated.
Dr. Ritu, please go ahead with your second question, ma'am.
Yeah, so second question was, ma'am, does the tense matter section by section in a research paper? Tenses matter, ma'am?
Tense?
Yes.
Yeah, obviously. Tense always matters. You have to, language quality is very important for the journal. You cannot write one sentence in present and second in past.
Ma'am, is there any specific guidelines? Because whenever we go through a Google, often we get confused. Somehow,
see, we can have a proper,